Sean Crawford, Information Systems Analyst. San Diego Association of Governments, or SANDAG. We are a transportation planning agency for San Diego County. vSphere 6.7. So the primary use case for the product is we use it as our core infrastructure to power all of our servers and as well as any kind of application that runs tolling for the region. Most valuable features would be the enhanced what we call link mode to link our disaster recovery site to our primary site across different vCenters and not required to be broken apart in terms of we have identity management and the actual vCenter server split. We can actually do embedded now thanks to vSphere 6.7. So for the security features of vSphere 6.7, VM encryption was really critical because we're required to protect virtual machines because we have to adhere to PCI DSS for credit card protection. So the VM encryption was very critical into passing our audit. For mission critical applications that we use this for, it's mostly for proprietary applications that were specifically built to run tolling. So all of our tolling applications run on vSphere 6.7. So in terms of performance boost, we have seen maybe about 10% boost, not by much. Our workloads aren't CPU or memory intensive, they're more IO intensive with storage. The solution has improved our organization in terms of compliance. In the past, we struggled with VM encryption. We couldn't encrypt the virtual machines with older versions of vSphere without some kind of third-party tool. Now with 6.7, it's all in the application itself in vSphere, so we no longer have to procure additional products to meet that requirement. We could just do it on the fly and pass our audit with no issues. So in terms of managing it, it's a lot simpler now with the vSphere HTML5 client. With the phase out of the Flash client, which everyone doesn't like, it allows us as administrators to do our jobs far more efficiently than it did with the Flash client. So we do use AWS, but not for VMware on AWS. We only use it for storage. Stability for vSphere 6.7 has been a little rocky at times compared to 6.5, but I believe that's because it's a very new product. With updates later, I think it'll stabilize out. We have especially had an issue with our backup software communicating with vSphere 6.7, but that's been remediated, so that has kind of gone away. But initially it was a little rough, but now it's smoothing out. Scalability for vSphere 6.7 has been a major enhancement compared to 6.5, and that is because of the technical features they've added that allows you to scale further away from your primary data center, such as vMotion over long distance, things like that. So it's made things better for us. Only for vSphere 6.5 we use tech support. We have yet to need tech support for 6.7, but I can't imagine it be any different than 6.5. Yeah, tech support with 6.5 is always, any tech support period with vSphere, I've never had an issue. Even when it was a really strange issue, we've always resolved the problem. I was involved with this design, the procurement, the deployment, and the management. So in terms of complexity, it was very complex for the licensing aspect, and that's because in 6.7 it's changed compared to what I procured years ago with 6.5 and 5.5. So it has gotten a little bit more complex, but it's easier once you do it. There are definitely rooms for improvement, and that improvement should be in the licensing and the simplicity of procuring additional licenses or additional VMware products. Right now it's very complex. Nobody. Hyper-V had come up because another IT office in our agency does use Hyper-V, but for mission critical applications that are powering an operation, my opinion was vSphere only, and my manager's opinion matched mine. So there really was no other option. It was just vSphere. For vSphere, I'd give it a 9. And the only reason I give it a 9 is because VMware has kind of amped up how frequently they release new versions, and that kind of adds instability to a stable environment. But other than that, I would have given it a 10.